our next presenter. What are the chances that two of your friends, independent of each other, would pick the same three adjectives to describe you? Steve Hrehovcik. That's how you pronounce it. Friend Charlie says, Steve is the most whimsical, eclectic, creative person he knows. And Steve's friend Judith says, I have known Steve for 35 years, and he has always been whimsical, eclectic, and creative. Charlie also says that whatever his creativity touches, it emits a certain energy that almost feels like it is being channeled from another world. Steve says he looks for creative ways to express the drama and beauty he sees around him. In a varied career, he has worked with computers and costumes. He draws cartoons, caricatures, horses, and homes. Please welcome Steve Hrehovcik.
He could have left a glass of something up here. I don't know. Thank you. I believe that black and white art can evoke. What am I doing? What am I doing? All right.
In front of the mic,
No.
Steve.
In front of the mic, Steve.
In front of the mic. Let's start again. I believe black and white colors can evoke some colorful reactions. This building, the Union Station, I drew that because I love perspective and historic buildings. Here's another example of historic buildings and perspective. This is Union, the Custom House on Congress Street. Its strong arches and columns and details suggest the color of power to me. And interesting thing, when I was taking a picture of this for my reference, a guard came up and said, almost confiscated the camera because I had to convince him I was only an artist. This is a pen and ink of the Rocky Pastures, Kenneth Roberts estate, and I'm not sure if all the stones are exactly correct, but it is an example of perspective, and so it's the color of literature for me. When the Kennebunk Library was celebrating its 100th anniversary, I drew this painting for them, and I donated to them partially because to offset some of the fines that I had for overdue books. Here we have volumes of color there. This is a private home, and one of the things that inspire artists to be artists is because we have this idea of omnipotence. And this building actually had a very large tree in front, so I moved it in back, and so I call that the color of summer visitors from away. Have you ever woken up on a Sunday after a snowstorm, and it's a gentle storm, and the snow is 3 or 5 inches on the trees and the roofs? This inspired me to draw this. We call that the color of serenity. A museum in Kennebunk, where I live, invited us to use some of their photographs, old photographs, to inspire art for a exhibit they're having. And this is the Kennebunk Railway Station, and it is today still being used as a art gallery. And I call it the Promotion. This is the iconic Brooklyn Bridge view with the main sky, the Manhattan skyline behind. And I grew up in New Jersey, so I got to know New York pretty well. And again, use of perspective to create a dramatic effect. Here's another view of some iconic New York scenes. The Chrysler Building, which a short time was the tallest building in the world, Manhattan skyline, and of course, Statue of Liberty. This is, to me, it's a color of grandeur and a lot of great memories when I lived at that era. One of the moves I made in my checkered career was I was in professional theater for a while, so this particular drawing was for a poster for I Love a Piano at the Rundle Barn Playhouse. And it's a poster for Irving Berlin and all his music, and I call that the color of the Great White Wave. I've done some children's books, and this is a book, drawings from a book, The Greatest Adventures of Humpty Dumpty. And these are two pictures where Humpty Dumpty decides to recreate his life, and another one where inspired by Gene Kelly and the Singing in the Rain. This is another book I did called Julie's Climb, and it had both color and black and white. Julie here is found looking inside a cave during her climb, and she turns around and sees the eagle, mother eagle, coming to check on her. So this is the color of fear. This is a cartoon, a pencil that I did from, inspired by a New Yorker cartoon. It's called The Gym, and this gender-neutral creature is walking through the various aspects of bulking up to find up as a shadow boxing, only to be knocked out by the shadow. Call that the agony of defeat. I love puns. First pun, I don't know if you remember this pun. When is a door not a door? Anybody remember that one? When it's ajar. When I remembered that, I didn't know it had two meanings, so I was hooked on puns after that. And so here's another pun, and Descartes, when he used his French expression, cognito ergo sum, he didn't know that in English that would translate, therefore, I think, therefore I am. Notice the perspective here, too. When I was younger and had and music was different, I won a jitterbug contest, so dancing is kind of fun for me. And this drawing of flamingo dancers inspired the idea of capturing the moment in time and space. I call this color to me is emotions. Although I've lived here in Maine on the coast for 42 years, I very rarely have gone out to sea. I'm not sure why. But I love to see the sea, and I love the graceful lines of sailing ships. And I did this in pointillism, pen and ink, to get the idea of the emotions. My wife asked me to draw this. This is, she called this A Mother's Love. And it's a woman's hands, mother's hand holding a bird, which is a metaphor for a child in three key moments in their lives, excuse me, to protect, to encourage, and let go. Let go being the roughest, the color of love. I was inspired by a local artist and also the Norman Rockwell painting that you may recall, where an old sea captain is looking out to sea with a young lad. And I call this When I Grow Up. And I did it again in pointillism to get the idea of the ethereal move. And this is my buddy, a character I created which may become a theme for greeting cards. It's primarily for guys who forget things like anniversaries and birthdays, you know. But it's my way, color of appreciation, to say thank you to you for allowing me to share these colorful black and white drawings. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Steve. I didn't think anything could make me nostalgic for Maine winter in the middle of Maine summer, but I think your color of serenity did. So thank you.